where do you have those three guys going? I assume you have Ward going 1 to Tennessee. Where do you have Dart and Sanders and Milroe going in this draft?
I have Sanders and Dart going early in the second round, and generally I don't put trades. I think it's been maybe a decade since I projected a trade in my mock draft, just because they're so unpredictable, and it's kind of unfair because of the compensation, and your whole mock can be kind of thrown off because of that, the extra picks and whatnot going to the team moving down. So I do think that I have the Browns taking Shedeur Sanders. I have the Saints taking Jackson Dart. And I've heard from team sources that the Saints have been in on Dart big time. They've done a ton of work on him. And so I could see them moving up for him easily after taking something else with the 9th overall pick. Sanders, I have going to Cleveland. I've heard that ownership would really like that. I'm not sure Andrew Berry is sold as the ownership is, but ownership is relevant, and Cleveland likes that kind of pizzazz. They like I could see where ownership would like the combination of Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders to help people forget about Deshaun Watson and what happened with that trade. And that's just, as one source said to me when I mentioned that to him, he said, well, they do like dysfunction. So, I definitely think they could do something shocking like that. But it's just tough to predict who, will love them enough to move up, because it's going to be pricey to move up for any of those teams, unless it's at like 32, 31, and it's only just 2 or 3 slots. If you're moving up to say Pittsburgh at 21 for the Giants or the Saints, Pittsburgh's going to get a massive haul for that of picks. So that I would jump at that if I'm Pittsburgh. If the Saints are willing to go from 40 to 21 and give you next year's 1, you got to do it.
Next year's 1? Oh, man, that would be something. Well, how about Milroe?
Well, I mean, you're talking almost 20 spots, so that's that. I mean, and so at any rate, in Milroe, I have Milroe going in the 2nd, 3rd round. I think there's a lot of teams that can consider him because he is so kind of clearly a developmental project in terms of a passer and pocket passer. You just know that you're not going to draft him to come in and compete to start right away. So that opens up, I think, more possibilities for him in terms of teams that could take him. But I think it pushes him lower, more towards really late 2nd, 3rd round, in my opinion. Now, he is going to the draft, so maybe the league and he knows something that I don't. But just speaking with teams, I've just heard that, he's more of a backup graded player, and that's probably like a 3rd round pick.
So in order, if you had to classify these quarterbacks, 1 through 5, let's just say, the guys who are available, because there's various amounts of opinions. Merrill Hodge here locally, who breaks down film quite a bit, had not a lot of good things to say about Shedeur Sanders. And I'm wondering, how would you rank them, 1 through 5, if you had to just put together a list of quarterbacks available in this draft?
Well, for me personally, I'm a big proponent and believer in accuracy first and foremost. And I think Shedeur is the most accurate quarterback. So he would be my favorite.
Over Cam Ward?
I would.
Over Cam Ward. Mel Kiper said the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I know some team people feel that way, but most don't. So I know I'm in the minority on that. But I just am a big believer in accuracy leading to success. And I like the toughness factor that he has. I mean, he takes hits and, has shown real resilience and durability. So I have him there. I would have Cam Ward 2nd then. And then my 3rd quarterback would be Tyler Shuck from Louisville. I think I think he is a sleeper that I think if he had stayed healthy in college, he definitely could have been a first-round pick. And if he really had even just one more healthy season, like just had 2 years in a row, I think that would be the case. But I think he could be a steal on day two. He's big, good arm, accurate, can move around, do things with his feet. And I've had team people tell me he's the smartest quarterback in this class by far. Hands down, did the best on the board of any of these quarterback prospects. So I like that as well. So I would have him third. Then I would have Jackson Dart fourth. And then fifth, I would probably go with Quinn Ewers.
Wow.
I'm deeply saddened that you passed over Jackson Dart so quickly without even a thought. I love Jackson Dart. Ben Roethlisberger likes him. Jack Ham loves him. Tell us about Dart in your opinion.
Well, I think that I like the skill set with Dart. I do think he has a quality arm. I think he can throw the ball accurately and move around and do things with his feet. I feel that in some ways there's going to be development and transition to the NFL with him that these days teams just are not really awarding quarterbacks, especially guys that are taken early. And for example, think of the offense he's coming from in Ole Miss and the similarities with Matt Corral, who went to Carolina, and obviously it was just a backup quarterback caliber player, and the scheme that they run there at Ole Miss is very college specific. So I think he's going to need a little more work there. I think he's also going to need time to see what Aaron Rodgers had behind Brett Favre, where Aaron Rodgers at Cal was a bit of a skittish quarterback when the pressure amped up, but then he spent those years watching Favre, seeing Favre just take a pounding and get up. And it just showed him the kind of reward of standing tough in the pocket and giving your receivers time to get open downfield. And I think Dart needs that lesson. And you look at the Florida tape from last year where that was a really rough, ugly meltdown game. And I think it just shows he needs some more time kind of being developed for handling an NFL rush, keeping the composure, avoiding letting the accuracy and turnovers fly when the pressure really starts coming. So I just feel he needs a little more development than maybe the media has kind of portrayed through this draft process.